All right, welcome everyone to the Historic Preservation Commission meeting for Tuesday, February 11th. Has everybody read the minutes? Does anybody have any comments on the minutes?
Just that the next meeting date should be February 11th, not the 13th on here.
Got it.
I found a couple, just skimming it.
Yeah, if you want to make any edits, just put any notes in there. I also felt like there could be more put to it, but you know, the person who did it just started. So just put the comments and I'll gather up the papers before the end of the meeting or at the end of the meeting, and then I'll make those edits.
That's it. Okay. So does anyone want to say anything about their comments or?
Do we have to approve or disapprove them, even if they have edits?
You can just wait. You can say approve with edits, or you can just table it and then approve it in the next meeting.
Just say what we're doing.
Yeah,
Do you
In the
want
motion.
me to do roll call?
maybe just,
We don't think.
Oh, yeah,
Is
that's
that
right.
okay?
That's right. Yeah, sorry.
maybe we
We
could just
could if you want.
say the edits out loud for the record and then mark them on hard copy if that would
Yeah.
help the
Yeah,
person
that's
pick
fine.
them up. So that they
And then
don't
if there's
have
a
to,
few others, it's.
yeah, so they don't have to try to review the tape and mark it up in hard copy as well
Okay.
as on.
All right, who would like, you want to go first, Sarah?
I didn't have any comment.
Okay. There is, that they do need to fill in, it was seconded by at the end there.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
saw it.
And then the meeting date, and then what did you have? Something? So,
On the second page, this is just edits, it's not content. Second page, the very first bullet, this existing family, single family dwelling. The last sentence says it was born in 1945. Probably that should be built.
Yeah.
There's an extra space, beyond the period, before the period on the last sentence of that same bullet. A couple edits, I would say, on the second bullet. It doesn't need to be the recent past, it can just be the past. The fourth from the top, there's a lot that has been cleared out. Again, I don't think it needs out, it can just be cleared. And then on the staff presented paragraph, the first of the two bullets there, that's an extra space in front of this. And then the other thing I noted was the same one you noted was we don't know the seconded by.
okay, it's content. Okay, anybody got anything else? Okay. So.
I move
motion-
we approve the minutes with the edits that we will submit.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? No one. Okay, the minutes are approved with the, as commented.
Just wanted-
Up here, I only marked a couple of things. There you go. Okay. We don't have public hearings and there's no visitors. I'm not gonna call you a visitor anymore. So our first demolition is for 647 Pocahontas Avenue.
Did everyone get the email by tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, that's very helpful. Thank you. Really, it's always good to get that background.
All right, so 647 Pocahontas. Okay, so I can pull it up here on Google, but it's an existing 4-bedroom, 8-room dwelling unit, was built in 1926 according to St. Louis County records. Has a total living area of about 1,051 square feet. The Algonquin Club purchased the property from Williams Irwin L. Midrid on June 9th, 2011. Property is surrounded by residential, but is close to Larson Park and the Algonquin Golf Club. The property has been identified as an at-risk property in the past. That is something, I guess, that would mean I don't have a whole lot of experience with at-risk properties, so but I did see that was in the list. The property is not along any walking tours by Webster Walks along any Webster walking tours. The structural integrity, the applicant has submitted photographs identifying existing conditions of the structure's exterior. The property is located in the floodplain and requires FEMA compliance before we can issue any permits. And its last occupancy inspection in 23 failed. So obviously our recommendation is further review. And whatever you guys make that decision, so.
Okay.
And then this applicant submitted this.
Yeah. Some photos and whatnot.
Doug is joining us.
Doug.
Oh.
Hello, Commissioner Stanley.
Hello.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure you're panelists.
Yeah. Looks like a full house.
So, okay, so, and then, we've had some other information about the house. It didn't seem like anything was found that was particularly unusual or historically
Significant.
It
significant.
was the same family owned it from the time it was built until it was sold.
Mhm. And they were probably nice people, but
Yeah,
ordinary.
I couldn't find anything, that I would say would be out of the ordinary.
Yeah,
Yeah, there wasn't anything substantial enough in our criteria to justify.
Well, and also Mildred Williams also sold the house next door, 651. They also owned that and sold that to Algonquin as well, at the same time, 2011. So, yeah, I think she had an idea of what would be happening.
sounds like it. Couldn't possibly, either you're very naive or something. So, okay. Anybody have anything, any thoughts otherwise? Doug, anything?
No,
Okay. All right, well, then do we have a motion for this one? Or which one is it? 647 Pocahontas Avenue?
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm on the wrong one.
Oh,
I'm not paying attention. I am paying attention. Just ahead of me.
I'll make a motion to approve the demolition application for 647 Pocahontas Avenue.
second.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, no one. The application for demolition for 647 Pocahontas Avenue is approved. Okay, so our next one is 9 South Iola Drive.
Yes,
Iola.
I think it's Iola because they all seem to have Native American kind of names, or I guess street names. But so 9 South Iola Drive. It was for the year built research. It's existing single family, 2-bedroom, 4-room dwelling that was built. Oh, we didn't vote to prove that, so we're on this right now. All right, so it was built in 1957. It has a total living space of 952 square feet. The Algonquin Club purchased the property from Howes, Allen, Edox, and Howes, Jane M. Edcon on August 12, 1999. Then they sold it to Commerce Bank the same day. And then they didn't purchase it, they repurchased it again in December of last year, which I found very interesting, but I'm not their financial advisor, so I don't know. The property is surrounded by residential as well, but is also close to Larson Park and the Algonquin Golf Club. The property has not been previously identified as an at-risk property. The property is not along any walking tours. The applicant has submitted photographs identifying existing conditions of the structure exterior. There is not an occupancy inspection currently on file. This could be due to a number of things such as them not doing the occupancy as required. So if they're living there, they didn't do the occupancy. Maybe they did it several years ago and we don't have it on our digital file. And then they just didn't update it correctly in our system. Or something like that. So in terms of our record keeping, so don't know in terms of structural integrity. I will say we drove to both of them. I say we, myself and my family, my students, chagrin. They're good sports about it. But if I remember correctly, this one, they both look kind of rough. So
I know, I
just
sent a
judging from
picture
eyeball, I'm
around.
not an
This was
inspector.
the one where they removed the.
They had already removed the siding,
Exactly,
yeah.
yes. So
So I don't know, is that okay?
I would say that is not okay. I
Yeah.
don't know how long ago or when they removed the siding. It could have been sitting like that for a long time. It could be somebody that did it like a vandalism or something like that. Who knows?
That's
But
too.
I did note that it did not have siding.
Yeah.
So
So
Yeah.
somebody else's house.
This one, there was also a little bit of information we got about this. Did we get something about this or no?
No,
Brian.
Brian came by Saturday to the library and, we didn't think it was really worth
Oh,
looking
okay.
into, and then he had been, he asked me to do, a write-up on
Yeah.
Pocahontas, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, with this one being built in 1957, to me, it didn't seem like there was really anything.
Right, it's a little,
Yeah.
not much, only so much happens.
Mhm.
Okay, anybody have anything else? All right. Then do we have a motion?
I move we approve the demolition request for 9 South Iola Drive.
Second. Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, nobody, so, then we have approved the demolition request for 9 South Iowa Drive. Oh, hey,
all right, so I do have a couple of things. One, I don't know if this was done. I know that, sorry guys, this like moved through and I didn't put these two things on the agenda, but I want to make sure they get talked about. So if you're ready. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, first, I don't know if in the past, did we give out a notice of decision and disposition of appeal, kind of letting them know like, hey, this was the decision. And if you have any issues with it, here's the process for appealing it. Has that been done ever in the past? Okay,
I think
That's not us.
usually if somebody wants to appeal something, they're pretty on it about what to
Right.
do.
yeah, no, definitely. I mean, so I saw it in something that was listed as potentially needed, and I've also had a couple, mostly just the person that we worked with under last time, who's asked me for a letter just confirming that. So I kind of put together one. There is an appeal section in the code that if they had wanted to go that route, they can. So I put something together, and I'm willing to pass it around if you guys want to look at it.
Well, does it go somewhere else after we?
No,
No,
this would just be for the owner, just the person who is getting the approval.
but I mean, say we deny it.
Yeah.
Does it still go to city council or somebody for their final? It just stops.
Not
with
unless
us?
they choose to.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah,
that's,
Okay.
Someone has to choose to make another action.
okay,
So if we approve it, obviously they can go get a permit, for whatever it is they want to do.
yeah. And then also I
Yeah.
think that the ordinance would say, just like with ARB, if somebody wants to appeal something, there is an appeals process
Mhm.
by law. So I imagine that's what
Yeah.
he's
Okay.
referring to.
exactly.
Okay.
So it literally is just two sections. I'll pass it around. This is for Algonquin and Onder, because I just was like, I'll put them together now. But the first section is just says decision. It literally is just like one sentence, and it says, on this date, the Historic Preservation reviewed and approved your request. And then I literally just copied and pasted the code for the appeal part. And then I have a signature for the for the chair and vice chair.
Seems reasonable.
Okay, well, that's most of what I'm asking, if it is reasonable.
Yeah, I guess I'm trying to get my head around why if someone was petitioning for demolition, would they want to
Okay.
appeal their own? You mean if we.
Oh,
if we
yeah, so-
Held it over, they'd want to try to appeal?
It's appeal, like if they didn't, let's say you denied it or you didn't approve it. I don't think you can technically not approve something. I think you can ask for more time and then get it registered as historic landmark and then they have to follow those guidelines. But if you were to say, no, we don't approve this, then they might want to appeal it or. There is an appeal part in the code.
Yeah.
And that is what I copied.
And they,
But-
because they wanted to know, they said they wanted to know.
Yes,
Okay.
they wanted a letter to confirm that they had been given the approval.
Yeah,
And with I think with ARB, they get a letter that says like you've been approved. And I know with Board of Adjustment, they get a letter saying, hey, you've been approved.
Mhm.
So I just followed that same template.
yeah, I think they get they get something like that in the past.
But cool.
As I recall, Mara seems like she would say something about, they get something.
It says it in I have like a instruction manual basically that Mara left for me. And it says that they should be given a letter, but I haven't found any templates or any past history of that.
Oh, I see.
So,
And a time or two, we delayed it another month, like when we couldn't quite make up our mind. And I wonder if they get a notice about that, like we've extended
yeah.
it for another, till the next meeting. Like,
Oh, that's true. Does seem like they should be told what happened.
Yeah, because we've kind of been like, whoa, we don't know. So
Yeah.
we did.
Well,
Yeah.
people do.
More research to do.
Right, I mean, I know
Yeah,
what-
like, oh, gosh.
I
Yeah,
know,
we just
I know
forgot
why
about
we did
you.
it, but
Yeah.
I was that.
Yeah, we just
Just
need
to
to
know
because
that, but I
it
just
is,
thought for the homeowner or whatever, we kind of.
yeah.
Does it have to be a formal process if we just need extra time? I mean,
no, this is
just email the person and say, we're working on it.
Yeah, the process is already
Yeah.
enforced, but it's.
Yeah, so the real point I just want to kind of, since I haven't seen it done in the past, I wanted to bring it to your attention that I was thinking about doing this before I just did it. So I guess is what I
Thank you.
should say.
Sounds good to me.
Good deal. So then moving forward, when we make a decision to approve or to deny or to table, I will just also join with a letter with a signature from the chair and vice chair. That's it. All right, cool. The other thing was the letter for Mr. Onder that I put together. It is not in color on this, but for the sake of just looking at it, do we want to circle that around? I'm sorry.
Did we see the final copy on email
I think
recently?
so.
I think so,
I
but
sent it so many times, I'm sorry about that, but.
yeah. So I just wanted to
I
make
was
sure we
okay
get
with-
one last look at it.
Well, if anybody wants a last look, I was fine with what I saw on email.
Okay.
All right, well then we'll just keep on swimming then.
Was that the one where you were asking him,
Yes.
suggesting that he do something to
Yeah,
to
they would
memorize?
like to
the,
see it.
There you go.
Okay.
And it got
just
kind of
wanted-
long. I guess that's what I didn't want to do, but you know,
I
some
did-
people will be like, what? Yeah.
I did make.
I know I get carried away.
Yes, you can
You
keep
get
it,
too
yeah.
into it.
I did make, there's kind of three parts I just wanted to point out about this. One was I put in the word potentially for the contribution from our small annual budget,
Okay.
just because, you know.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
There's-
Kept thinking that.
The last time it wasn't secure enough, and so I didn't want to put that out there, and then something happened, and we're kind of in the corner. The other thing was, I did remove my name
Oh,
just
okay.
because I wanted to be from the Historic Preservation Commission and not from the city necessarily, and then also a signature, so.
Okay. Oh, you just want me to? you want me
Not
to-
this one's not in color, no.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
like that. So, As
No
a,
problem.
just wanted to make sure I'm covering the bases so everyone feels like they're heard and that they're hearing everything. The last thing is the annual report. So in green, we had brought this up to you guys last time. I mentioned that I could go through, I could fill out based off of what I was able to find in our like database in terms of like past projects you guys have worked on in the past year. And then and also what like kind of language Mara used last year for this annual report. And so that is what is in green. If you guys want to look at it now and decide if there's any changes you want to make, otherwise I don't think you have to formally vote on it, but
Well, didn't we want to list some accomplishments like, our
This
historic designations? But
Yeah,
it
so
looks
if
like-
there's any accomplishments that are
Yeah.
missing, please let me know.
Cause it looks like most of
I-
these are demolition requests
Yeah.
rather than, you know, than any of the designations that we did. Cause I don't see any of those.
Yeah, and that could be the case. I went off of solely what we had in like a database.
Uh-huh.
But.
Yeah,
You know,
okay.
I hit my
Yeah.
50.
And
Days.
I think that the dates we had mentioned were June 23 to June 2023 to June 2024 was the period of time we're addressing when we say last year, because it was the last fiscal year. Was that correct?
Yes, you are.
Okay, okay. So yeah, I can go through and look up the dates of our designations and maybe that are in that time frame and forward them to Joel perhaps for
Yeah.
inclusion in this.
That works.
Okay.
What is the deadline for this to be submitted or to have these things to get?
Well, I know they want us to start having, they indicated March. We wanted to start having the meetings. We're gonna, you know, the presentations, presenting them in March.
Okay.
So we were hoping that these things, you know, the completion would be done like by the end of February so that we have them for the March city
Yeah.
council meetings. So, and our city council meetings are the first and third Tuesdays. So they haven't indicated whether we're gonna start the presentations the first or the second Tuesday yet. I mean, we're just starting to have our off-site budget meetings.
Okay.
So if we can,
Yeah, so that I guess we have like that time frame. Does it need to be voted on? Or do we just have to have a general agreement? Well, my only concern is that we weren't gonna have another meeting where we're all together before it's due.
right,
So last year, we didn't. I saw this like right before it was
Then-
done.
whatever.
And I don't know that anybody, and I was the vice chair at that time, and you know, it was kind of a quickie thing. That's what it felt like to me. So
Well,
I
then-
would assume there's no need to vote on it, because we
Yeah.
certainly didn't vote on it the last time.
So I guess a general sentiment, are we okay if you guys just send me anything that's missing via email and I'll just include it and that would be just. the time.
What's our deadline on that?
Like, I guess.
I would say the end of February, because again, the first city council meeting is,
So maybe we could get our information to you by
April 1st.
next week,
yeah,
Oh, so
a
that's
week
it.
from today.
Yeah, so you have time to
Okay.
incorporate
So then you
everything.
Yeah.
can finish the thing by the
Yeah, no, that
end
would
of
be
February. We're
amazing,
not giving it to you that day.
Mind if I point out just one typo
Oh, of course.
that I found?
I'll take any typos and.
In the third page, FY 2026 annual work payment in the green
Okay,
narrative, third line down. It says for structures over 50 years old or certificates. I think it should be or.
oh, well, I mean, I'm not gonna take, I will make the change, I will say it, like, too much besides that. accomplishment, because-
I don't, yeah.
Yeah, but I like it, let's see, but I'm
It's like
I'm
the-
not at where I'm at.
Third line
Third line
here.
down.
Oh,
Starts with
okay, yeah.
Says, or should that be for?
Oh, we need to reduce demolitions for structures over 50 years. It should actually not be or for, it should be and, because.
Okay.
Right, because we could have like Pocahontas and 9 Iola, they're 50 years old, older than 50 years old, but they don't need a certificate of appropriateness. It's only it's within a historic district or a landmark that it needs the certificate. Plus being 50 years old, so.
But we don't actually do the certificates of appropriateness. They all go to the ARB. I think we should, but
Yeah.
Me too.
I will say that is my understanding is according to what I'm reading that it is something you guys can do, but I do know that ARB also has the power to do it as well.
yeah. So however you want to write it.
Well, if
Really
it's
matter.
or I still should have comments.
Yeah, so yeah, no, tell me, I just wanna put
Or
that.
certificates of for appropriate comma within the historic district.
All right, I like it.
I've got another question. Historic preservation has no funding request. I think we should make.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's gonna be the 1,200.
You know, yeah.
Yeah. That's that one sentence.
That right
Right
here,
at the
it's
bottom.
just that one sentence. I mean, I know we
Yeah.
get a small budget, but I think.
Yeah,
we
ask
can
for something.
request it. Yeah.
That's good.
And
Open.
one of the things that crossed my mind is we mentioned in the last meeting was over at the library, there are the
Oh, yeah.
trees
Mm-hmm.
that have the historic designations on small plaques. I think that that could be something that we could fund. And, you know, I'd
Probably
be
should.
happy to coordinate, because I went over there and looked at them, and it looks
Yeah.
like the last ones went up in 2018. And
Oh,
that's
that's
some,
right.
that's something else that I would be happy to do, is just go through the ordinances online and write a list of what has actually been designated since then. And then maybe we can, you know, y'all can review it. We can make sure that everything's included, and we could do those plaques and have them put on the tree.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I like the idea. So we're gonna put this as a line item on the table. Don't know how much are we thinking?
I don't have any documents on how much those costs or even who did them. That's what I was trying to get from Mara last year, to find out who engraved those, you know, who made them and how much it costs.
Yeah.
And what are they, a plaque for each house that has
Yeah,
a
Yeah,
designation in the
it's,
city?
yeah, in the library, we've got these big tree displays, there's two of them, and they have these little kind of brass plaques that have the street address, you know, of the houses that are,
Okay, yeah,
and
you
the
find it.
owners, you know, that were the,
Yeah, we could,
for the historic landmarks.
I was gonna say, you know, if nothing else, we can just take a picture of one and go to somebody else and
Yeah.
go, can you match
Right.
this?
Yeah, how much does that cost?
Yeah,
And
Okay,
we'll have to- tell you, or
I-
have
somebody
to
wanna-
come up with that.
Oh, I was on the council or on our commission then, and it was someone local, and it took a very long time. I remember that. That built the tree, and then the plaques were ordered, I think, somewhere. But the tree himself was somebody local.
well, the trees are up there and there is space on the tree to add more plaques. So I don't think we have to do another tree. I don't think there were that many designated. I think there's probably space on those existing trees to add new plaques.
Okay.
Yeah, probably not very expensive then, if it's just a plaque.
Yeah.
Somebody-
Are they brass or what are they made out of?
It's metal, yeah,
Yeah,
brass.
there
probably,
is,
yeah.
I believe they were like a silver color, just simple printing.
But they're just this big. They're
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
just like about that
So they
big.
can't be terribly expensive. So, okay,
so does somebody want to kind of take
I'll
charge
do
on
it.
researching?
I'll, you know, run around and I'm retired. I have to go around and price shop.
So,
Carol.
so then I will wait to hear from Carol, and then we'll put do we think 1,200 will cover what we requested, cover the two
Yeah,
items?
There aren't that
Go
many.
big.
Yeah,
They can't, these will
1
cost-
million?
they shouldn't cost that much.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't think there should
Get
be.
something open-ended.
Yeah, and then, yeah, I'd hate to limit it to just that one item. If we can potentially get, you know, other projects to be designated.
We can just say, we can just leave it and say there's just future projects. I mean, we're only.
Exactly. It's
partway
like,
into
just
it, yeah.
keep yourself open.
Because if Mr. Onder does decide that he wants to go and have some sort of plaque or something on the property about Maria Powell, then we would have money for that also. You
Yeah, I
know,
think
if you
that's
don't-
how
Yeah, I
it's
didn't,
weird,
I
isn't
put
it?
600, I
Yeah.
was like
Yeah.
ballpark that.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of leaving a line item. I want to put specifically the two ideas that we do have concretely, so then it just makes a better argument for when we're asking for money.
Yeah.
And then we can also just leave a line item, just be like future projects coming this year, and then we'll see what the council
Yeah.
says.
There's a hope that Dr. Onder will actually pay for the plaque himself or rather.
Yeah,
than out of our
that's
budget.
right.
That's correct.
I like it.
However, it would be nice, like we said before, to have our name on it. would
Well,
be so
yes,
bad
that
either.
would be.
Yeah, yeah. So, okay, cool. Well then, those are the only items I had left. And I'm sorry. Go
Did
ahead.
you decide on an amount?
We're gonna go, 1,200 is what I was thinking, because that's what I was told last year was the
Everything's.
Oh, that's what we
Nobody-
can, I think that's like our maximum.
Like you said,
Okay.
additional future
I don't
projects.
think we didn't ask for anything last year.
Yeah. What do you think about 1,200?
We're asking for money.
So is it
Commissioner
something in there
Stanley?
that tells us what the maximum is?
No, I have no clue about the maximum. I know at the last meeting we had 1,200 had come up as
Super
what was
expensive.
in there
Can't
last
get
time.
much for 1,200.
And then I believe that this didn't work out or something. I forget. I remember having the conversation.
Yeah, I don't know.
And so 1,200 is what I haven't anchored in my mind.
I know there was a plaque that was given from Marvin Court, but I don't know whose budget that came out of. The city gave a plaque for the designation on Marvin Court.
The city did that. So
Yeah.
last year we didn't ask for anything. Like when I did
Yeah.
they had to do the little deal.
Okay.
We said no, I was in it said, we don't want any money. We
Yeah.
didn't have anything to say, like that. We
Yeah.
can't just, they didn't want us to just.
Ask for money.
Why not?
I
mean, all
all
I
that
can
they
say
do
is no. I mean,
yeah.
it's.
And if something comes up during the year, like somebody
Yeah.
walks in here like the citizens did for the Bethany Church and said,
Right.
hey, we really want this, and it goes through. I mean, we would like to be able to have some discretionary fund rather
Yeah.
than go, oh, sorry, we didn't know you were coming, so we didn't ask for the money.
Right. And we're not asking for that much.
Yeah.
money.
It's
I mean,
actually, I mean,
$1,200.
yeah,
seems-
I
the
would
big
say
scale.
that- and can you ask tomorrow,
Future expense.
Marie or somebody?
Yeah, I can ask. I
Yeah,
can ask
there's a-
somebody
if-
for the max.
Or I don't know, I don't recall in that brochure that they gave us that gave us for the commissions, and I don't recall a maximum budget amount
Right, that's,
that was
I don't know.
given, but
I
you know.
remember
Maybe
the
that's
1,200 seemed like a raise because it was like 1,000 from the year.
Yeah, I thought we discussed 1,000 last.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
some reason. 1,200
Oh, well.
though, that's not being exorbitant.
No.
Ask for the 1,200
do
and
that.
let them tell you that you can't go that high.
Okay, all right. What do you think, Commissioner Stanley? I feel like I didn't want to, I want to make sure I circle back to this issue after question.
I think 1,200 is reasonable.
All right, so then 1,200, but I will still ask what the maximum is. If there
Yeah,
is.
if there is one.
Yeah.
There, you're right.
Yeah.
'Cause
All
I
right,
mean,
sounds like a plan.
Get a really good project.
That's right.
And so the first Tuesday is March the 4th.
Okay.
So it looks like you've got a good jump on what you're putting in the budget. So how long do you need to compile everything and just to follow up and final comments for everybody?
I don't think it's gonna take me, because most of it's kind of done. I'll just turn this from green to black, but yeah, so Commissioner Dunkey is going to find about more information about the past year's accomplishments, and then she also is going to put together kind of a price for the
Price on
plaques.
the plaques, try to research how many we'll need and get some prices
And a list.
Yeah.
Of those, of the
yeah.
ones for last year.
So I was just trying to loop back
Yeah.
around. So if you have everything that anybody's requested to get to you by the 25th of February, then that gives you sufficient time to have it ready because we don't know
I
what the
agree.
agenda is on
Yeah.
for the 4th yet, or if they'll start.
Yeah.
So.
So does that
Does
work
that
with
work?
everyone? The
Mhm.
25th?
Yeah.
Mostly Carol's.
Yeah. That's the Commissioner. All right, well, then that's all I had.
I have just one other question. We had the conservation district
I was
business.
supposed to be corralling you, but I haven't just done it yet.
Oh, okay.
We were gonna wait till after the holidays.
Right.
And we're clear.
So I'll be sending an email.
Now you gotta work around the weather.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah, it won't be tomorrow.
No, it won't.
I work from home, so.
There you go.
So, okay, that I just was wondering about that.
Yeah.
But anything heard. And I guess it's it then. I don't know.
I think we just with these letters. Could you, if they are gonna decide to appeal, could you add a sentence in there directing them to the specific place in the code where the
Oh, I
appeal
thought I did.
process?
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
but, you know, they may do it under the terms, I think. Is that the right code?
It should be say section something.
Yeah, it says section 52(2)(3).
Because the way I'm reading that is it's the council may, after a public hearing provided for as in section
Well-
52(2)30, reverse or modify, but it doesn't specifically say that's the section where you can find the appeal process.
Okay, yeah, I could put a
That's-
sentence
that's
that
the
says
only
per section, and
that's-
I can put out the chapter and everything as
Yeah.
well. And just say per chapter section.
Rather than making
the
somebody
appeal
dig through the
process is
code
as
to find
follows.
the.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, perfect. So then I'll make the changes to that and then I'll work on getting signatures.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So you need me to sign that?
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to sign a couple, the real structure for that, I guess is not entirely, maybe I'll just, I don't know, bring it to you to sign. Because at some point.
I mean, you know.
I can stop by here if you
With me,
really want.
Yeah,
If you want to just
I can read
mail
for
me,
air.
I will be glad to just run over here and sign it, so you don't have to. you
Yeah, I
know,
could do the same
run to my
thing.
house.
Just come.
Yeah.
Do it.
I mean, we.
None of us down very far.
I would presume.
I work from home,
All right. All
so,
right, so then I will coordinate on getting the signatures after this.
yeah, and so I just sort of, you know,
And then-
have my day of
Just
doing
wing it.
stuff.
And then moving forward, I ideally like kind of now I would like to have, this was kind of like a first go around because I want to get your thoughts on it, but then I'll just have them at the meeting so that way you just sign them if they approve, not. then I would-
Good job.
Okay. All right, now, is that it?
On Saturday when Brian came by the library, he asked me if I could do what I did on Pocahontas. If that's something you want me to do regularly, as you get the applications for demolition, just send me the addresses and I'll do that kind of write-up on them. If that's helpful.
Oh, my God.
Very much, very much.
Very helpful, if
Yeah.
you're willing to do
Yeah,
that.
and so and also is what I send, is that too much information or is that it's kind of like the right amount?
I
Like
think
a-
it's great.
Like a one-page
Yeah,
sort of
it's
memo.
fascinating.
I think everybody looks at it from a different perspective, so you know what one person thinks is significant, somebody else might find
Right.
something else they think is significant, so. Yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah, because you added sort of a basic beginning to it, you know, like say you found something or it was kind of like, oh, something seems interesting. You almost, I wouldn't want you to get too carried away, it's your job, right? You know, you're
Right.
at work. So that would be more like, bring it to us
Mhm.
and see what we're gonna do next.
Right.
Right, so I think it was good because it's a beginning
Mhm.
and,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, so I thought it was a good amount in that regard.
And then also too, you know, depending upon what timing works for you. If you want to send it out to the members and that way if somebody goes, oh,
And just like you
yeah,
did.
I'll go, this is interesting. I think I'll go look up more stuff.
Mhm.
You know, if you have the time and the timing works out, then like Sue was saying, if something piques somebody else's interest or maybe they know something about
Mhm.
something and can go on and do their additional research and we can bring it all together.
Okay, yeah.
I mean,
I can do that.
yeah, I mean, if the timing works for you, I think I'd speak for all of us when I say we're very appreciative of your
Mhm.
efforts in helping us out.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
And if there's one where like you don't have time or something, you know, just let us know.
Right.
It's not a problem.
Yeah, well,
It's not-
yeah, it's
we're
like
not
when Brian and I were talking on Saturday, we thought the Pocahontas one was worth looking into more. The Iola one, was really worth it. But yeah, if you get the demolition permits or you think you're gonna be on the agenda for a certain meeting, just email me those addresses and then I'll have stuff back to everybody a few days before the meeting.
Okay.
And yeah,
Great. Just, does that make meetings rules?
Yeah, I was wondering about, I was gonna touch base offline about it,
We
but
have the fellow planner here.
if you, it might be, I think, better for Sunshine, what she's alluding to, and then also helpful for me. If you could send it to me and I can incorporate it as part of the packet
sure.
to send out. I don't know if you sent it Did you send it to me this time? And I just didn't.
I sent it to
The email
the
chain.
email that
Okay,
we
okay.
were using for the Maria Powell, that.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
yes.
and
I
it
was
wasn't
probably
sure.
just going through
Okay.
those for the
Right.
order letter.
Okay.
But yeah, if you send it to me, I have a calendar and I
Okay.
live by that calendar. It's down on my desk in
Right.
terms of what the deadlines and stuff are for
Yeah.
getting agendas out. But yeah, if you send it to me, then I can incorporate it as part of the agenda or as part of the packet.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so-
not a problem.
I did think of something else. We had talked last time about the theater and potentially writing to Mr. Under to not overlook the potential of a National Register
Right.
nomination and historic tax credits. And I think that would be worthwhile for us to follow up on. I don't know if we should write a letter to him, but we've talked about it, and those of us who have experience doing National Register nominations think that has real potential, and it would certainly help him with his funding if he could get state and federal tax credits. So how we would like to go about contacting him is something we should probably discuss and follow up on.
I wonder if we can invite him to
That's what I
come to
was
the
thinking.
meeting. I don't know if he'll come, but if we
He'll come.
He's real accessible.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, he's real responsive.
And
So-
well, if
Would
we
one
could,
of you want to do that instead of us?
I was gonna say, I don't know the guy at all, but I can email him. But if you have the connection, I don't know, it's up to you.
you met with him before, haven't you, Karen? Didn't you say that you met with Mr. Under?
Yeah, I met with him regarding the concerns around the Douglas property, the Douglas school property.
Okay, well, I can email him then.
Yeah, I mean, because he's not just, he answers his own phone.
Okay, good deal.
That's
You know,
great.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I mean, he's real responsive. He's
Yeah.
like, I mean, I was thinking that we talked about it being something coming from the committee. You
Yeah.
know,
Well,
Yeah, that's
I
a good
just
point.
think, we need to, I mean, it's a win-win. I mean,
Right.
if we can give him good information based on our professional expertise that sets him down a path to get some really good funding for that building. I mean, it's a win for him, for us, and for the community. So I think whatever initial contact we make, we need to tell him that,
It's in his best interest.
right, I mean, you're gonna get the faster movement if one of you do it,
I was
because
just about to
during the
say, yeah.
day, when at 8 o'clock, I'll start meetings, and I'm like, it's at the end of the day, and my day's shot, so
Yeah.
it's like.
Well, and I thought he talked about that he had gotten on the track with this already, but that you can just give him more if you.
well, somebody said that he had been given information that the building had been too altered to go for the national.
Well, no, I think what he
Register.
said was that he was surprised that they didn't have any designation, and that they didn't have any designation because, maybe too much had been done at that time. I don't know, and they never followed up on it.
Yeah,
There's been so many write-ups on it that he must have publicity and stuff that I thought to get stuff. Oh,
well, I think it's
they didn't
just,
ask me.
we don't know what he does or doesn't know, and I think
Right.
it's very important
Oh,
for
yeah,
us to
sure.
at least reach out and say, have you considered this? Because we think that there's good
Right.
potential for a National Register nomination and then subsequent funding for your project.
Yeah, I wasn't disagreeing at all. I just think that's great.
So
He'd eat it up if he hasn't.
what if I just call him?
Yeah.
Call,
Sure.
can I just
Sure.
call him? I don't have a phone number or anything. I don't know how to get me.
Is it all in any of
All
this
over town.
stuff?
That's what I go for.
So I just call that one.
And so there, you called the billboard number and just like, I need to speak to
Yeah.
this number. I think there is a number on the application that he submitted last time, but
Oh,
I think it's not for him. I think it's for his project manager
Oh, yeah,
person.
yeah.
I think it's Robert Healy.
I have his email
Convenience.
address. Cause I had sent him some research on the theater,
Oh,
so if you want, I can just forward that to you.
Office number is 314-963-9000.
9,000.
Mhm. And his cell number is 314-503-7075. Email is onder@onderlaw.com.
Okay,
ONDER.
okay. I'll go.
Okay,
You know, if he wants to follow up and
Yeah.
have a meeting or something, maybe we could go, you and I could go talk to
Yeah.
him. You know, I'm just putting that out there if he's interested in following up, because I'm, you know, think we could help him maybe secure some significant funding.
Well, honestly, when I talked to him about Douglas, he scheduled his own meeting and everything, you know, I mean, I just asked him if he wanted to talk about it and whatever, and what day was good for him, and he's like, well, hold on, let me look at my calendar.
Yeah.
And then he said, okay, how about this time at this time, you know? And then, so he's not one of these toy idea, yeah, you gotta get through 10 different gatekeepers to get to him. He's
That's good.
pretty, yeah.
Okay, that's sort of what I was wondering, like, you just end up telling some individual, okay.
And who knows where it goes. but
Yeah,
not.
and they think it's not important, and, yeah, so it's not like that. Okay, that's good to know, he's just a guy.
That has a strong interest in the community.
Yeah, that's the thing, it's that he seems to, so that makes a lot of difference.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, all right, anything else? All right, so do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll move to adjourn.
Second,
I don't know myself in your pen.
I'll second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, and I guess no one's opposed. So we are adjourned.